All right, there's that call out. Falcon 9 is in startup. At this point in time, stage 1 and stage 2 are beginning to pressurize for launch.
LD, go for launch.
And there was our final go for launch today from our launch director. At this point in time, as we approach T-minus 30 seconds, all systems are go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Let's listen in to the final countdown.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
All right, as you can see, Falcon 9 has cleared the tower, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We just heard the call out that the vehicle is supersonic. We're currently going to throttle down the engines in preparation for max Q coming
Max
up.
Q.
Oh, there we heard it. So that was the moment of greatest aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will experience in flight today. As I mentioned before, we will be attempting to land the booster back on land at landing zone 1. This is known as return to launch site, as opposed to a drone ship landing.
Eco.
Stage separation confirmed.
Back startup. Stage 1, boost back startup.
So you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, second stage MVAC engine has ignited. The first stage on the left-hand side is performing the boost back, which, as you saw just moments ago, the first stage flipped itself over and is now making its way back to the coast of Florida. The next event we have coming up is fairing deployment. All right, there you can see the two fairing halves have separated, fallen away from the vehicle, exposing the 105 spacecraft to the vacuum of space. As a reminder, we will be attempting to recover these brand new fairing halves once they make their way back to Earth. As I mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to recover this booster for the 10th time today, and we're targeting a land landing at landing zone 1. The first stage has just one more burn left, the landing burn.
Yes, it's safe.
It begins just before touchdown and provides the booster a soft descent before landing. About the same time that Falcon lands, we are expecting SECO, or second engine cutoff, 1 of our second stage. Just a few seconds away from landing.
Stage 1 is transonic.
Vehicles traveling around 900 miles per hour. Really puts the deceleration into perspective. In the span of less than a minute, we'll have reduced from twice the speed of a jet
Stage 1 landing burn.
all the way down to 0 as the rocket lands. There's a view on the right-hand side.
Stage 2 and terminal guidance.
Of the landing back at landing zone 1.
Stage 1 landing like deploy. Stage 1 landing is confirmed.
As you heard from the call out there and from the cheers behind me, we have successfully landed this Falcon 9 for the 10th time. It's also the 102nd recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Nominal parking orbit.
So we're about to start our first batch of deployments. Over the next 8 minutes, we are expecting to hear the callouts for the 26 deployments and have a handful of live views. Several of the customers on board this transporter mission have multi-launch agreements with SpaceX. So some of the names might sound familiar to those of you who have tuned in for previous Rideshare missions. To see the full list of deployments, head over to SpaceX.com. We're expecting our first deployment in about 10 seconds. As I mentioned, this is a batch. So let's listen in for this first batch of deployments.
Unicorn 2E, separation confirmed.
For those just tuning in, this is SpaceX's Transporter-3 mission, our third dedicated small-sat rideshare program mission. Now, when we came back from the blackout, we heard confirmation of those 37 payloads that were deployed during the loss of ground station coverage. And you just heard the callouts for another 19. Now, as you may have noticed, we were unable to confirm 2 of the 82 deployments because the spacecraft on this mission are small sats, and because there was a large communications blackout during the deploy sequence. It can sometimes be difficult for us to confirm deployments in real time. I'm hearing from our teams that we likely won't have those confirmations in the next several minutes, so we're going to end our live broadcast and we'll provide an update on those final confirmations via social as soon as we receive them. Thanks again for watching today's launch, and we'll see you next time.